Welcome to STA2023 online. You'll need to take some time this week to become familiar with our course. My Courses course material. Let's explore the My Courses course. From the course homepage shown here, you'll have several options from the top toolbar. We'll start by clicking on the course home, and I will post weekly reminders and important messages here. Upcoming events are shown also here on the calendar. Now click on Course Content. On the Course Content page, you'll see the syllabus at the top. Click on Table of Contents. You can use the Expand and Collapse option on the right-hand side to reveal or hide items in each module. Let's look at the Begin Here module. Let's look at first at the email. Next link down is the Email Your Instructor. After you click on this link, click 2 or 3 more times, you'll finally get a window where you can send an email to me. This is the email that you should use to contact me. When you do send me an email, make sure you give me a subject here so I know that what you're writing about. Again, use this email system to communicate with me rather than my college email. Your message can get caught in the college spam filter and I may not see it for several days. The next item on the table of contents, go back to table of contents, is Ask a Question forum. Use this forum to post questions about the course, interact with other students, etc. Review the syllabus, paying attention to the course tools, course grading, active participation, proctored midterm, and final. There's a detailed schedule week by week included in the syllabus that shows the material to be covered each week, the homework, quizzes, and their due dates, chapter discussions and their due dates, and also test dates. Let's look at the Begin Here module. Meet Your Instructor links to my Instructor course homepage at the college. A copy of the syllabus is also available here. The Welcome to STA2023 online handout and also the video that you're watching now are included here. There's also a checklist to help you get started in the course. The textbook information shows the ISBN for the MyStatLab Access Kit. You must purchase the Access Kit to be enrolled in this course. Take a few minutes to read the top 5 myths about distance learning. There's also information about proctored testing and the syllabus quiz, which is required in order for you to gain access to the unit discussions and the investigative tasks. You'll have unlimited attempts on this quiz. The first discussion is also available here, which is the class introduction. My StatLab tutorials materials here includes information on how to get registered for our class. The tutorials contain information, My Courses tutorial information on the various features of My Courses. Returning to the table of contents, there's a MyStatLab folder here, a module here, where you can access, once you've registered in MyStatLab, you can access the ebook, the assignments directly from this link. You can also do it from the course home. The next item on the table of contents are the weekly chat sessions. Our weekly chats will take place on Wednesdays, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. The first chat will occur on Wednesday, August 26th at 10:30 a.m. The chats are not required, but if you can attend, I think you will find them very helpful. They're recorded, so if you can't attend, you'll use the same link here to access the recording. Click on the link to access it. I will also post the materials that we will cover during the chat before the actual chat begins. You may want to print these out and follow along with the chat. The next item on the table of contents is the analysis of quiz answers. After the due date for a quiz passes, I will post an analysis of the answers to the quiz, which you may find helpful when you're reviewing for the midterm and the final. The units of study modules contain the course materials. Each unit module contains several chapters. Unit 1 is shown here. Each module is organized in the same order, the chapter modules first, then the discussions and the assessments for the unit. And if you notice here, there's a little check mark. This will help you keep track. My Courses keeps track of what you've viewed. So when you see a check mark here, it means that you've already accessed that material. In the last section, there's related materials, which are different materials about the other things that you might want to take a look at to help you with the topics in the particular unit. Staying in Unit 1 module, you'll also see the assessments. In this case, there's a quiz in My Stat Lab, and then there's also one discussion and also an investigative task. So here's the link to the discussion, here's the link to the investigative task. Investigative tasks are activities related to the material we've covered in the unit chapters. Each investigative task will have detailed instructions and a grading rubric that will be used to grade your work. You will be answering the questions in the instructions as a written report, which is submitted to a Dropbox. Each student will submit one time before the due date and time. Your report should be professional, which means complete sentences, spell checked, etc. The tasks are individual. Each student does their own work. There is no single correct answer to the tasks. There may be many ways to answer the questions. For all discussions except the class introduction, each student must make a posting first before they will see the postings of the other students in the class. And if you'll notice, it will say that you have to make a post first before you'll see the others. And returning to the top toolbar, let's go back to the calendar. And the due dates for different assignments and so forth are shown along with the calendar, along with other important dates. Proctor testing dates, last date to withdraw. Returning to the toolbar, submission review, you can access the discussions, Dropboxes, and quizzes from this drop-down menu. You can also access the assignments from the unit folders listed in the syllabus. I suggest that you use the links for discussions located in the unit folder, since other materials are available there to help you with your postings. The weekly schedule lists each assignment and the unit folder in which it resides. From the top toolbar, if you click on Communicate, you'll see several options. You can access the email system from the drop-down menu. We won't be using chats or groups. I suggest again that you use the email option on the table of contents to send me an email rather than this email, which is a little bit more complicated. Let's return back to the handout for a minute. I'm going to move over to My Stat Lab, and this is critical. You must purchase the Access Kit, and you'll do the registration for My Stat Lab from the home page of our My Courses course, and there's a link right here down to the Pearson website. The first time that you go there, you'll set up your account. If you already have an existing account, please log in using that account, but you'll go ahead and get your own registration in our course set up. I suggest that you do this early in the first week of class. So the My Stat Lab website, again, in that Begin Here module in My Courses, there are handouts in the video to help you get registered. Once you've registered, here's what you'll see when you go into the course. Course homepage will show dates that are coming up, things that are going to be due. On the left toolbar, you can navigate by selecting chapter contents, homework, etc. If you select the particular chapter, you'll see the following. Chapter and section, you can look at the videos, you can go to the multimedia e-text. Go back here to the main menu. We can also go over to the homework. And I have linked the videos onto the homework page because a lot of students tell me that they like those and you don't have to go searching for them. These are not assigned, but they are here for you to look at. Perhaps a good idea would be to look at them before you begin to work on the homework. The due dates for the homework are shown right here. Each homework assignment is listed with the due date. Notice there are green flags next to some assignments. That means there are requirements that must be met before you can access that particular assignment. For instance, here you need to complete this Introduction to My Math Lab in order to gain access to the first set of homeworks. You'll have unlimited attempts for the My Math Lab homework, and you can access the homework even after the due date if you have accessed it at least one time before the due date. For each unit quiz, you must score at least 60% on the associated homeworks to gain access to the quiz. And again, you'll see that little green flag that tells you there are prerequisites to access that assignment. Remember, you can always go back later to improve a homework score if you worked on that homework assignment at least once before the published due date. The unit quizzes are built from question pools, so you may not get the same set of questions on your next attempt, so read carefully. You'll have 3 attempts for each unit quiz. Each homework problem has various learning aids available. So let's take a look at a problem from Chapter 3. And I'm just going to take a look at problem number 7. Okay, so the question help is located right here. And you notice you have textbook, Statcrunch, connect to a tutor, ask my instructor, print. So there's a lot of different options here. On the problems where you have the availability of show an example, trying to see if you have any like that. Doesn't look like you do. If you do decide to, let me get ahead a little bit here, because I know there's some where we have, all right, let's take a look here. Here we go. Help me solve it. This one will actually help you solve the particular problem shown here, and when you're finished with that learning aid, you're going to get a new problem. View an example will show you a similar problem and work through it. There's an animation available for this one. You can go to the textbook. Statcrunch is a technology program we'll use in the course. If you click on Ask My Instructor, it will send me an email with the exact problem you're working on. It will be helpful if you give me some information about what you're having trouble with. The learning aids are not available on the unit quizzes. And as I mentioned, a lot of problems that we're going to work on are going to use Statcrunch. So I'm going to go ahead to Chapter 6 and pull up a problem here. And I'm going to find one that uses Statcrunch. Not all the problems will have a link to Statcrunch, but a lot of them will. So this one here, no, that one won't. Here we go. So if you click here, it's loading it. Now this is data on roller coasters. If you notice here, there's 2 little rectangles, and if you click that open, one of them will have you can open it in Excel, you can open it in Statcrunch, and that will take you right to the Statcrunch window. And once we get up to those chapters, you'll learn how to use Statcrunch. And it's built right into the program, and it'll make some of these calculations much, much easier. So remember that option. Whenever there's raw data, when there's individual data, you'll see a little table here. Click it, click again here, and you can open it in Excel, copy it to a clipboard, or open it in Statcrunch. And if I return out of here, if you notice on the left toolbar, there is a link to Statcrunch, and you have 2 options here, which is to open Statcrunch from the website or actually get the data sets from your textbook. And sometimes in problems, I'll have you do that. All right, returning to our little handout here, just to finish up. In this course, there's a proctored midterm and final. They're given at the 4 main SPC campuses. You need to choose the campus that's most convenient for you, but you must make an appointment. Here's a link to the test of the reservation system. And if you live outside of the area, you need to identify a proctor using this link here. In order to be successful with the course, I suggest that you keep keep up with weekly assignments, print out the weekly schedule on the last page of the syllabus and check off each activity as you complete it. I do not extend due dates. They are Monday nights at 11 o'clock for homework, quizzes, and so forth, unless there's an issue with my courses. So print out that schedule on the last page of the syllabus so you can keep track of the assignments. Feel free to contact me by course email if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with you and the class this semester.